What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. So here we are now, end of season, and we've got quite a bit to go through, so we're going to go straight into it. And we're going to start somewhere we don't normally start, which is the transfers. So, in January, we were relatively busy. For the first time in a very long time, we actually signed quite a few people in the January market. Now, no one key left aside. Well, yeah, I can talk about that. I'll talk about something after. I was thinking maybe I should talk about something first. But yeah, no one exactly key left aside in January. We were unable to sell Smith like I wanted to, but I believe that will happen this summer. The goalkeeper Smith, by the way, because of course we signed Cox, which you guys should already know about. But the three guys we signed first of all, they were all pre-arranged deal when they're all from the Ivory Coast. I would sort of call it the Ivory Coast invasion or some stupid like that. We signed three players there and from there. And the first guy was, I believe it is Sidibé? I'm not too sure. But this guy, centre midfield, 21 years of age, and look at him. He is incredible, and according to reports, he's one of the best players to have ever put on a Gibraltar United shirt. And he looks incredible. You can physically see he is a very good player. 4 caps for Ivory Coast as well. Only 21 years of age. I think this guy has the making to become someone really, really good for us. Really, really good. According to reports, look at that, 5-star currently. This guy is an absolute beast. Now, bear in mind, he's only got a deal here for next summer, so I probably will be signing this guy down to a new deal very soon. Probably once the official new season ticks over, I'll be offering this guy another maybe 2-3 year deal, trying to just extend him out because, like I say, he looks class beyond belief. And you know, looking at his history, he played for ASEC, which are for a team from the Ivory Coast. So I believe actually one of the best teams in the Ivory Coast, because being a 2-star reputation team in Africa is actually a very, very good thing. As you can see, look at that, they appear in the Champions League. Oh no, they're in the Confederations Cup and stuff, which is the sort of Europa League of Africa. And he's done really well for them in the league. And he's come to us in 8 games. He played incredibly well. I mean, he didn't get many assists or goals, but his performances are what are important. And he performed really well. So this guy I'm really looking forward to. The next guy from the Ivory Coast we signed was Vincent Melta. I'm not too sure. Again, being from the Ivory Coast, it's most likely a French pronunciation, and I'm not particularly great with that. So this guy, again, looks pretty good. 20 years of age. This time not actually made any appearances for the Ivory Coast, but he's still 20. He's still got a little bit of time left of development in him. He looks pretty good from what I can see. You know, the stats that he's got. Good strength, jump reach, heading, tackling, marking. Relatively good teamwork as well. Positioning-wise is alright as well. As a centre defender, he needs a few stats up here, like bravery. He's not exactly the bravest defenders, but to me, he is, again, good enough for this club. Good enough for what we need. According to reports, he's about equal to the level of Perez. So this looks really, really good. You know, this is like he could be a really good player. And again, played incredibly well for his team from the Ivory Coast. And he's come here and again put in really good performances so far this year with us. So again, another good guy. And the last guy we signed from the Ivory Coast was Moussa Sanogo, 20 years of age. Yet again, another young Ivory Coastian, or what do you call someone from the Ivory Coast? I can't actually I couldn't think of it at the top of my head, and I couldn't bother to Google it. But yeah, another good player from the Ivory Coast, Moussa Sanogo, looks really class. As you can see from them attributes going up as well. He is someone developing very quickly. Look at his goal scoring record as well for the Ivory Coast under 20, sorry. 13 goals in 19 games. This guy is a goal scorer. And he's a target man as well, which is very good. I've mentioned how we needed a target man. Of course, the guy we signed, Flavian Marasau, or whatever his name was, he's leaving in a few days, actually, at the end of the season. So we needed a target man. We brought this guy in January, and he's been a beast up front. You'll see his goal scoring record in a second. But he is a very good target man, 6'1" as well. Of course, needs a few things like anticipation and bravery and stuff. But to me, he's got some of the core stats you'd need as a striker. He's relatively quick as well, so it's not like his only option is target man. I could put him as advanced forward. I could easily change him over. Currently, right now, I'm working on his composure. For those of you who don't know, finishing and composure, they sort of work hand in hand. When you're in that one-on-one situation, you could have the best finishing in the world. You could have 20 finishing. But if you've got bad composure, you're not going to stay cool and calm enough to pick your spot and convert it. So I'm currently working on his composure, probably get that up to around 12 and 13 or something like that. Then I'll start working on other positions like first touch, maybe a little bit of passing, stuff like that. But yeah, you know, it looks really good. And like I say, his goal scoring record for us this year alone, in 8 games, he's scored 14 league goals. And again, look at his history in the Ivory Coast division. He's a natural born goal scorer, and that's something we've needed at this side, and it was evident again this year. Last year when we got to the Champions League group stages, we took a lot of our chances, and okay, we missed a few still, but we still took majority of them to get us to that stage we needed to go to. This year, we didn't take our chances. Even in the Europa League, we didn't take enough of our chances, because if we'd have taken more of them, who's to say, we could have easily got to the Europa League first knockout rounds. But this guy, I think, could be the guy we need. Like I said, he's got a good goal scoring record. In 13 games in all competitions since joining us, he's scored 21 goals and got 8 assists. You don't do that on a fluke. And look at his average rating as well. Really good performances. Really looking forward to this guy. And the last guy we signed as well was another striker, Jonathan Castellano. Castellano. Or is it Castellano? If it's Castellano. Castellano. There you go. I got it that time. Another striker. So that may surprise you again that I've signed 2 strikers, but this guy, you've seen him before. You've seen him, I think, 2 or 3 times here that he's been on trial. And as you can look on the right, he's actually been on trial here 4 times. In his 4th spell, I decided to finally tie him down. Now, one of the reasons I did that is because, of course, look at his stats. He looks like a very good player, playing as a poacher or an advanced forward. I think he's better at a poacher role. I might be changing my roles this season, but he looks better as a poacher to me. And one of the reasons I signed him is because, like I say, he looks better than Miller, and he looks like a very good player. Another reason is, he's got experience playing at decent levels before. This is the Saudi Arabian League, which isn't exactly a bad league. They're one of the top best leagues in Asia. Sorry, I keep kind of like got indigestion or something. Costa Rica has always played in that division. He started off there, went to Bournemouth and struggled in the English division, which obviously is isn't particularly great if he's spelling his career, but still, to me, he's 72 caps for Costa Rica. To me, says that this guy's experienced. He knows what he's doing. To be at Costa Rica is still a very good thing. Look at this. This is the Copa Centroamericana, which is the Central American competition. And as you can see, it's normally split between Honduras and Costa Rica. In 2020, Costa Rica won it. In 2020, I'm sure this guy probably featured in it. Let's actually have a look at his achievements. No, career stats. No, wait. It is achievements I want. Competitions. He no, he never featured in it. But he was part of the third place team in 20 look at that, he's part of the third place team in 2018. He won North American playoffs in 2023. He's won the competitions with us, obviously. He was runners-up in the Gold Cup with Costa Rica. He was runners-up in the Asian Champions League. So this guy's got experience playing in very high-pressure affairs, playing in big tournaments and stuff. And I think that could be quite crucial, again, for when we play Champions League games, because they're big, high-pressure occasions, and we need people who can step up to the mark, step up to it, and be counted. And I think this guy's going to be one of them. So I'm really chuffed with the signings we've got. Of course, we've still got 2 new guys coming in next season. We've got Felipe Borgo, who's joining very soon, and we've also got Jesse Clark, who's joining in December. So we've still got 2 new guys coming in. I'm still looking at players. There are a lot of good players available on free transfers or going to be available on free transfers. I'm hoping to try and capitalize on that, try and sign a few of them, which, we could be still improving the side quite a bit. But I think that's all I want to talk about in terms of transfers. So let's go into competitions. I'll go into the fixtures and we'll have a look. So let's start with, I guess, and then we'll talk about the club afterwards. But we'll go into the fixtures. So last time I saw you off, the Europa League, when we were knocked out to Young Boys, we did win every single game after that, which meant we went on to win a very nice quad. Some standout performances from me were the 5-0 victory over Angels. Again, 5-0 victory over Angels. The 8-2 victory over Lincoln Gibraltar. This was actually a massive game because it pretty much decided the title. Although technically the title wasn't decided here, it was decided on the second last day of the season. This game was massive because if Lincoln had won it, they would have gone top by 2 points. If they'd have drawn, there would have been a draw, there would only been 1 point separating us. And if we'd have won it, it'd have been 4 points clear, and you would have pretty much handed us the title that day. And we absolutely smashed them. We were all over them, and we scored 8 past them. It was really disappointing to concede 2 goals in this match, and you may be wondering why that is. And that's because up to this point in the season, we'd only conceded 1 goal, and that was to Lincoln. So for Lincoln to come to our stadium, and I say our stadium again, it's all the shared stadium, but to come to our stadium in front of 5,000 fans and score 2 goals was disappointing. But the fact that we responded in the way that we did, at that point we were already 4-0 up when they started scoring. We still went out there and scored another 4 goals after they got there first. So Actually, no, sorry, it's 5-0 by the time they started scoring, sorry. And we still went out there afterwards and continued to score goals. So, showing no mercy here, and that's quite a good thing when you're playing big teams or teams that can be quite important in the league or games that can be quite important in the league. Show no mercy, go out there and destroy and embarrass your closest rivals, and that's exactly what we did in that game. I guess some other key results again would be the 5-0 victory in Leo FC in the Rock Cup quarter-final. Oh no, sorry, that was the Senior League Cup final. I thought that was the league one. Sorry, in the league we won 5-2, and again that was only the second time we'd conceded in the league all season long. And again, it was to Lincoln. But yeah, that was the Senior League Cup final. Sorry, my bad about that. In the league itself, we've still got 4,202 people rocking up to see the match, which is a really good attendance. After that, we did concede to Gibraltar Phoenix, and also in the last day of the season, we conceded to College Pegasus, which obviously, like I said, it was a good year for us defensively to only concede in them 4 games and only concede overall a total of, what was that? That is 5 goals. It's, really good defensively. I would love to go for a season without conceding, but of course, to me, that's sort of a side challenge. It goes Champions League and then just win the league again, and then the rest are all just sort of side things that I go for. And also, we ended off the season with a 4-0 Rock Cup victory. So, yeah, the league, everything's exactly how you'd expect it to be. Pretty standard for us so far in this in the competitions. Let's talk about how it affected the league growth and stuff. So, as a league, we grew 5 places. We are now ranked, if this is in order of ranking quickly, we are now 75th, are we, or something like that? Where is it? There we are. We are now 76th, sorry, in terms of rankings. And the next top division, I still believe, is the Electricity Premier Division. Let's have a look. We're still 1.5-star reputation. We're still a little bit off becoming a 2-star reputation, which is actually League 2 is the lowest 2-star reputation. So that's not too, we're not too far off there. But in terms of top divisions, where are we actually ranked? Oh, we're actually, at a decent height. Look at that. And these are the reputations of top divisions in Europe. And we're now actually not too far off beating Latvia, Macedonia, Estonia, and then Republic of Ireland, or even Kazakhstan. They're all pretty much just ahead of us. So the league and reputation is now at a pretty decent level. Of course, it's not incredible when you compare all divisions. But if you compare the top divisions, the fact that we're considered above some of these countries, especially Wales, who, like I said, still TNS do very well in Europe for Wales. But they never seem to really grow. And so still be considered above them, I'll say it's quite a good achievement. And above Northern Ireland as well. That's, of course, another good landmark for us. And as a club, in terms of our coefficient points, we again continue to grow, of course, with a pretty good year in Europe, with a few wins in the Europa League here and there. We end up growing to 156th. I couldn't remember exactly what number it was. 156th, so that's pretty good. End up getting more coefficient points this year than we did last year, due to the fact we won a few more in the league, obviously. I mean, in the group stage. Sorry, I said league, that was wrong. But in the group stage, so again, it's really good to see the growth. Almost in that top 150 in Europe now, so just narrowly away from that. And again, look at some of the teams we're above, or even, look at some of the teams we're above. Hearts, Zurich, CSKA, Sofia, Austria Vienna. Some pretty good teams are above. TNS are there, 169th. And then look at some of the teams that are just narrowly above us. Molde, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Nuremberg. Some good German teams and a lot of French teams and stuff. So it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be an interesting year next year. I'm pushing for the Champions League again, obviously. That will help us grow, and hopefully maybe even a knockout competition, because that would be ideal. In terms of qualification places, we have again yet to change on that, but I believe we've grown again. I'm not too sure what our ranking was last year. I wish you had a little arrow here, just telling you go up or down or whatever, but we're still 35th ranking-wise. Wales will now be entering the second qualifying phase. It's about bloody time. Like I said, I've been mentioning TNS so much. But yeah, ranked 35th. So, still a little bit away from maybe getting a team in the second qualifying phase of the Europa League. Still a good 11 places, below that. But, yeah, not too far off, really. How is the nation doing? And in terms of coefficients, we are still bottom. Oh my god, Crimea are above us. What is going on? And I can't even click on Crimea. And actually, I have some of my players been introduced to this national team. No, I don't get it. Amari and Alvaro both said they would play for this national team, but the damn stupid manager has decided not to pull him in. I don't understand that. And hurry up and retire because I want to get this job. I know I just resigned from the under-21s like earlier this year, but I still want to get this job. I still want to, achieve something here. All right, so those were the clubs. That's how the league's growing, all that stuff. I think that was mostly what I wanted to cover there. As a club, of course, some stuff has happened. We actually got an affiliate team. I think I said that right. Affiliate team or affiliated team. We're now affiliated with another team. There you go. And that is Cannons in the league below. So Cannons have been in the Premier League in the past. They were in it for a very short one season back in 2022-23. They've now spent the past 2 years actually battling to try and get up. This year they finished 7th, so not a particularly great year for them after their 2 decent years last year. But I decided to just get an affiliation with any team possible. The board only came back with one possible choice, and that was Cannons. Of course, I wanted a team, so I was happy to accept that. As you can see, I'm allowed to loan players out to Cannons, so we have that affiliation there. The players that I'd want to loan out currently aren't interested going down a level, so I couldn't really loan many out. But of course, Cannons are now more inclined to try and come to me for loans because they know I'm more likely to accept it, which I am. I accept any loan offer, really, but they come to me for more because they feel, again, it's more... they get more of a chance, more realistic that they'll get someone. Also, as well, as you can see, Cannons will host an annual friendly between the two teams. This will be more of a money raiser for them. I don't really mind because, again, I use friendlies as a way to build up fitness and stuff before the Europa Leagues and the Champions League campaign starts. So I'll happily play Cannons there. And plus, we're giving them 8.53k per season. Now, to us, that isn't exactly a load of money right now. I mean, we're actually given almost, for winning the Rock Cup, we're given about 513,000, I think, or something like that. So that's that's over £500,000 we're given just for winning the Rock Cup. And so 8,000 to me isn't a massive amount. And I'm more than willing to pay that to a team like Cannons. Because even if they, being semi-pro, £8,000 a week, and if I've looked at their team, they've got a lot of non-contract players in their squad. So even if we combined all their wage budget for the year, I'm sure that would just come to maybe 8,000, just under 8,000, something like that. It's not going to be a lot of money for them. It's so, it's going to be a lot of money for them. It's going to go a very long way, 8,500. So I'm chuffed to have got that. I'm still looking for an actual parent club, a senior parent club, a senior affiliate, because I want money coming into me at the same sort of principle. In the past with Wales, I had loads of teams. I had at one point I think I had 6 teams bringing me in almost £1 million just through annual fees. So I am going to look for one. I can actually do it right now, I believe. I could try and get one. Oh yeah, I've actually done that. Yeah, that's something I'd like to be involved with. I've never done that before. I mentioned it in the past. I've got that achievement, We Trust You. They've never allowed me to actually, bring someone in and stuff or ask to pick up a specific team. And financial benefits will help the club grow. Normally, when I have to convince them of something, they don't particularly give it to me. But yeah, let's choose a club. And we're given 2 teams here. We're given Glacis United and Mons Calpe. And now with Glacis, again, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. Oh, I've knocked my mic, sorry. They won the 2nd division. And they'll be in the Premier League. And I think that this will be a very good team to have because... they'll be coming into the division. They'll be needing to step up their wage maybe a little bit, trying to sign a few more people. They'll definitely be able to use the money well. So I'm going to go with them. That's my reasoning there. I want a senior affiliate. But that was not the only thing to happen at the club. Of course, facility-wise, we did get an improvement. We improved both training and youth facilities. So we now have adequate training facilities and below average youth facilities. So that's good to see. They've increased. As a boardroom as well, though, I've also got new training facilities being planned. As you can see, they'll be completed on the 27th of the 12th, 2026. So they'll be completed very soon, which is brilliant. The more we can improve them, the better. The quicker we can improve them, the better, because players are just going to benefit more from the better training facilities. They're going to grow more and they're going to grow quicker. So that's great. So I think that's all I want to talk about there. So we're going to go to the inbox quickly and just have a little scroll down. Those are the rankings and stuff. There were a few things. That was it. Awards came back this year randomly. I won Manager of the Year. Perez won Young Player of the Year. And Sinogo actually won Top Goal Scorer. And McCourt won Player of the Year. McCourt was absolutely beast this year. Look at that. Absolutely beast. He tore it apart. And also, he broke a new average attendance this year in the Premier League alone. As you see, our attendance went up by about 400 people. Oh, no, that was 2 years ago. So, yeah, it still went up. And that's really good to see that growing, because hopefully soon, because we're nearly averaging 4,000 people, maybe the board will want to build us a new stadium. All right, here's something I've never got before as well. A commercial summary. So we've got some new sponsorship deals. A new 5-year stadium sponsorship deal. A new 2-year main kit sponsorship deal. And a new 1-year continental competition sponsorship deal. Overall, the total from just them 3 sponsorships has increased from 86.83 thousand to 190,000. So that means our 4 main sponsorship deals bring in £209,000 per year. As it mentions here briefly, past year the club generated about 50k through corporate, this year, it produced around 50k from corporate and hospitality facilities, and a further 208k through match day commercial and retail activities. That's a growth from last year, which is not too much, not a massive growth, but still growth from last year. Of course, it mentions here that broadcasting revenues and competition TV. Broadcasting revenue and competition prize money, that decreased by £9.91 million. That's the difference between Champions League group stages and Europa League group stages. But we knew that was going to happen, of course. And total merchandise. Now, I've never got this before, but total merchandise for the season was 3.24k through non-domestic shirt sales. Oh no, with non-domestic shirt sales, it's totaling at 8.22k. So somewhere out there in the world, people are buying Gibraltar United shirts, which is something really cool to think about. And talking about merchandising sold and stuff, for the first time ever, I've had a thing where it told me about boosting shirt sales. Not first time ever in Football Manager, but in this specific game, in this specific save. And it was when we signed the Chilean international, I can't remember his name. Sorry, you know who I'm on about. Jonathan Calasinio, or whatever his name was. When we signed him, we actually got a boost in shirt sales, which is really nice. More money, the better. So balance-wise, we currently sit on £8.376 million. So we've gone down, as you can see, from when I last saw you, when we were nearly touching that 11 million mark, trying to break that 11 million barrier. But we're not going to achieve that unless we get that Champions League group stage money. That's 6 million or whatever it is from actually entering the group stages. We'll be aiming for that this year. As you can see, last month we made a profit loss of £1.4 million. We made a loss of that amount. And it means last season we actually made a loss of £1.041 million. So lost a lot of money last year. So we do need that Champions League. We do need it quite badly. So this year we're going to be pushing on. But with the signings we've made, with the squad strength we currently have, I think it is an achievable possibility. Our squad looks pretty nice. I need to improve on certain positions. The left midfield is something I'm looking at. Although Carlos had a really good year, I do think we can get better. And I do know there is better out there. So I'm looking to try and improve that area. Left back as well. Again, I know there's a really good left back out there. He's under the age of 23. So I do need to wait for him to be officially released by his team before I'm making a proper official move. So that's what's going on there. But if he isn't released, I will be looking for a new left back, because I think Albi, although he's good, we can get better again. And with right midfielder, although we're bringing in a new right mid, I know there's a really good right mid out on free transfer, or is going to be released on free transfer very soon. So if he is released, and if I officially can get a bid in, I will be signing a new right mid, despite the fact I've already got one coming in and I only signed one earlier this year. Which will mean one of them will have to be sold. It'll most probably be McCourts, because he's the only guy that isn't new here. You can't typically sign a player and then a week later sell him. That's just not allowed, really. That's not on. No one's interested then. But yeah, that's something that could be happening. As well, Roma Perez, I briefly mentioned in the past how he was interested by other teams. Up until a few days ago, actually, he was still not happy about that. But as you can see, that negativity thing where it said he wanted to join that club, that's gone. Like I said, up until a few days ago, up until like yesterday in game time, he still had that worry there. So while that isn't there, I'm going to offer him a new deal. I'm going to try and get him to a very long deal. I mean, he's going to ask for an increase in wage. That's inevitable. If I can remove that, though, and actually bump that up a bit, will he join? All right, so if I wanted to sign Perez down to a 5-year deal, which I don't think is actually feasible. I don't think that's not feasible, viable, sorry. If we time down to that and give you a 2.2k a week deal, would you be willing to do that? I'm happy with that. So Perez signing a new deal, despite the fact he's got all them clubs interested in him. I'm going to sign him down to a new deal because his contract runs out at the end of the season, and I don't really want Perez to go. I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to be a first-team member here. You know, I don't know if at the end of this year or maybe in the summer I'll sign a new centre-back and Perez will no longer be deemed good enough for this squad. Who knows what's going to happen? But even if that's true, at least I can have him here as a backup player in a few years. And then, you know, if the clubs are still interested, the clubs are still interested. I can sell him on. I'm fine with that. You know, I think that's a completely fair thing to do. I'm going to try and sign down my best players for as long as I can. But yeah, I think that's it for what I want to talk about the club. I don't think there's anything else I really need to say. We won the league. We won everything. We just need to push on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to continue forward, and then we're going to get to the Champions League draw, where hopefully we'll get a relatively easy team like Keflavik, but perform better this year. Okay, guys, so I think we've got a pretty tricky draw on our hands. We've got HSK Zrinski, I believe. Zrinski? I'm God knows. But they're from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And yeah, they're going to be a tricky team. They will only have one real player, and that is Michael King on loan from Hearts. Actually, they have two players on loan from Hearts. So, wow, what a guy. Pretty decent player there, if you ask me. Why is he on loan there? Just get a cheeky report on you. And maybe, what's Michael King's? I didn't really look at Michael King. I mean, he's got a little bit of pace about him. We're going to report anyway. You never know. Maybe a good player. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a tricky team. They've got a good reputation. In the past few tournaments, they've not actually got past this round. In fact, they've struggled to get past this round for a long time, losing to quite a few teams, TNS, Dynamo, now they've got us. So, I don't know, it could be a tough team. I mean, it's definitely a away leg. It's going to be quite challenging. But at home, we should hopefully have the advantage. Playing in Victoria Stadium where the pitch condition is terrible, something we're used to now. So, yeah, you know, it should be an alright game. Something I blatantly noticed, though, is that Schalke actually won the Champions League. That is a hell of an achievement in real life. Julian Draxler's still there, banging along, chugging along, 32 years young. Wow. I tip my hat off to them. They did really well. And actually, they've won the Bundesliga for the past 3 years in a row. Wow, clearly Bayern's reign has come to a bit of an end there. Schalke 3 years in a row. No team has won it 3 years in a row in my game since it started. In fact, if we were to say it was real life, you know, Bayern Munich were the only team to win it 3 years in a row, or the last team to win it 3 years in a row, back in 1999 to 2001. So Schalke having a little reign of dominance, and Dortmund and Bayern are playing the catch-up game. And actually, I know what? Freiburg, you know, the team we've played obviously in the past, they've not done too badly recently either. So yeah. First step in our Champions League campaign, we'll come up against HSK Zrinski. Again, I'm not too sure. Home first, away second. So that'll be the next time I'll meet you back. So until then, guys, peace out.